Hey guys, welcome back. So today is going to be a really fun vlog. I figured instead of doing my normal New York City vlogs, I would show you guys basically the behind the scenes of how I get ready for an audition. Auditions these days are looking a little bit different than they normally do just because with COVID, they are all self-tape auditions, which was happening before, but now it's pretty much exclusively self-tapes, especially for the first round of auditions. But I got handed the script last night, which was really, really awesome because I was able to read the script and go over my lines. It's not every day that you get handed the script before the audition, and I really love it when I do get to the script just because I get to know the character a little bit more and just like a little bit more about the film in general that I'm auditioning for. This isn't always the case. Actually, it's really most of the time I don't get the script. And even with certain shows, like let's say Pretty Little Liars or Vampire Diaries or Game of Thrones, things that there's like these like cult followings with these like twists, a lot of times they won't even give you the real script. Like it'll say you're auditioning for a different show, different names. Sometimes it'll have the same text, but a lot of times it'll just be like a scene that's similar that's already been on TV or something. So this time I'm very lucky because I got the whole script. So I have just been working on it. I do want to preface this with saying that I memorized my lines already and like did all of that like kind of like actory stuff. If you want to see more about my like process of acting or like want to hear about it, let me know. But for right now, I'm just going to kind of show you the behind the scenes. I wish I could show you guys like more, but due to like the script, I can't like reveal what I'm really working on, if that makes any sense. I can just say that it's a movie. So the first thing I'm gonna do is show you guys how I got this glam. So let's get my makeup done. Let's do the makeup. Did you guys enjoy that transition? I worked really hard on it. Okay, so to get ready for an audition as far as makeup goes, I really love to just have a very solid base. I think foundation and all those things, while day to day can look cakey, they look really good on camera. So my makeup is very natural, except for I wear more face makeup than I normally would just because it's really good to look like you have beautiful glowing skin. First thing that I do want to mention, and then I'm probably not going to walk you through like step by step and like the products just because I'm not like that good at makeup, but it's more just so that I can do like question and answers and stuff like that. But the first thing I do use is Lumify. They are these eye drops, and they are kind of like Visine, but they're a lot better. They make your eyes way whiter, and especially me, I always have like really red eyes because of allergies and like things like that. And my eyes are like always super dry, but they make such a difference, especially on camera. My eyes just glow a lot more, and if you like watch movies and TV shows, people's eyes are always super, super white. So yeah, you just want to kind of, you don't want to be distracting with like red eyes. So I'm going to start on my foundation, but let me first look up the questions I asked you guys on my community board, things you want to know about my acting career. So I'm going to kind of answer those as I get ready. If you want to be featured in the next like Get Ready With Me or Q&A or whatever, make sure you're following me and that your post notifications are on, so when I ask a question in the community board, you guys know. And also don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. So let's just get that over with. Let's answer some questions. So all right, this question: how often do you go on auditions, and how do you find out where to audition? Not an actress, but always curious on the process. Okay, so also I'm using my viewfinder to put my makeup on, so God only knows what this is gonna look like. So it really depends on how often with auditions, with like time of year. So like during pilot season, so basically when like all of the TV shows or the networks and streaming sites are coming out with new TV shows, they have like pilots, which are like the very first episode in a TV series, and then those get tested and stuff, so you're auditioning to be in those pilots. And during that time, it's like super busy. Like it can really vary though. Like that's the thing that's kind of annoying, is like it's not really in a schedule. So I mean, I've had as many as 3 auditions in a day, and then I've also had as little as like one audition in 3 months. Like right now it's been super slow for me, which really sucks. And it's weird because like I don't think it's been slow for a lot of my friends, but it has been kind of slow for me, which stinks. And I haven't really had an audition in like months, not months, like 2 months, let's say. So it really just like depends, and it varies. And I do believe that when it rains, it pours. Like in acting, I swear to God, like it's either you have a million auditions or you have like none. And that's just like kind of the way it works. I prefer when I have more auditions and less auditions. Like I would say I'm more nervous for this audition, even though it's not that big of an audition for me in comparison to other things that I've auditioned for. But I'm more nervous because I haven't auditioned in a while. So when you're like out of the swing of things, it's like a little bit scary when you're just like rushed and you just like are working on adrenaline and just like have to get it done. Yeah, so that's like how often. It's not really like, it's not general. It's not like, you know, I always get like an audition once a week. There are times where I'll go on an audition every week for like a couple months straight, you know, but it all just depends. I believe the second part was, where do you find out about auditions? So there's 2 different ways you can find out about auditions. Sorry if the camera angle changed. I had to check if my foundation was okay before moving on to the next step. But I find out auditions in multiple different ways. There are casting websites that you can submit yourself to. So every few days I will go on said websites and just like see what auditions that I fit and apply online. So like I will send them you have like a profile, but on your profile it has like your resume and your headshots and some video content that you've done and things like that. So I'll like submit that, and for that I'll just like get an email if I get an audition through those websites. And then the other way I get an audition is through my manager. So I have a manager, not an agent, and she also submits me on websites that only agents and casting directors have access to. And so she'll submit me for things, and then she'll just like send me an email if I have an audition. And that's just like kind of how it works. She'll send me the sides, which are like the scene that I'm auditioning with, and sometimes if I'm lucky enough, like today, she'll send me the script, which is really helpful. Okay, so let's go on to the next question. Tracy asks, is it hard to make ends meet affording to live there while having to do other jobs in between getting an acting gig? Also, what recent gigs have you auditioned for? Yeah, it is really hard to make ends meet. I'm really lucky that I do have parents who help me out. I literally could not do it without them. It's really hard because I went to school for acting. Most of my like resume stuff has to do with like theater and film and TV, and like acting experience, like where like other jobs, if you did like, let's say like retail or something, and that's on your resume, like that can somewhat pertain to other things, where being in acting and like saying that you've been on a movie set or whatever the case may be, or like working on student films or all this stuff is great for acting, but for any other profession, it's not that great. So that can be really, really frustrating because it's like starting over. It's like you're doing 2 careers at once that take like a lot of effort. And so it's really hard. I think what's harder is like there's not like a central path with acting, which can be really, really frustrating if you try to control it. And like, I know comparison is like the death of everything, but it is really hard as I'm getting into like my mid-20s, you know, seeing my friends getting like their dream jobs and moving up in their field and getting promotions and things like that, and really like having so much financial freedom, and I just like don't have the luxury of that right now. And that could be, this is how it could be for the next 40 years. This could be how it is for the next 2 months. Like, you don't really know. So that is really hard. But yeah, it is extremely hard to make ends meet. And then I forgot the other half of the question. What recent gigs have you auditioned for? So like I said, I haven't like auditioned in a while. Today's audition is for a movie, an independent movie. I would say I've auditioned more recently for films, not really TV shows. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I haven't auditioned for a TV show in a really long time. So it's been mostly like indie kind of films and stuff like that. But I do get like my manager sends me like a sheet of all the things that she's submitted me for, but I haven't gotten auditions for, and she submits me for everything. So everything from a little independent film to a guest appearance in Grey's Anatomy. So it's kind of just all of that. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to contour and blush. I'm going to be using like more cream products and liquid products for my contour, just because I want it to be a little more natural. So I'm not gonna, like, typically in my day-to-day life, if I was getting super glam, I would then follow this up with like a powder bronzer, but because I want it more natural, I'm just gonna be doing the cream. But before I do, let's see what the next question is. This question is from Bonnie. Hi, Bonnie. Are there certain types of roles you are more comfortable with? Whew, this is a tough one. So when I was in theater school, shout out to Marymount Manhattan College, I played like exclusively the bitch role. And I mean that like literally in the nicest way. All I played was like a nagging wife and like a bitchy college student, like all of those roles. So while I would say like comfortable is such a hard word to answer in this scenario, because I don't like playing the bitch character. I mean, it's fun. It can be fun, depending on if it's like well written and if she's like multifaceted and like has like a career and or something, and it's or like there's a reason why she's being a brat in the script, not just like she is the mean girl. She is right. You know what I mean? Like that can be kind of annoying. But I definitely feel the most comfortable in that because I've done it the most. It's pretty easy. It's pretty fun. So that's probably what I feel the most like. That's what I would say is like the easiest for me to do, just because I have only done that most of my career. As far as genre goes, I would say my favorite kind of acting parts are the ones that are like in between comedy and drama. So whether it's like drama that has like a little bit of dark humor in it, or if it's like a comedy that has serious moments. Like I once played in an acting class, I played Amy Schumer from Trainwrecked, and I played the scene where she goes outside to like smoke a joint while her boyfriend's like giving a speech, and so she's like kind of high, and like they're like, but they get into this like huge argument and fight, but there still is some like humor within it. Like I love having those layers to play with versus it just being super dark, and the same thing with it being like funny, where it's like just funny. Like I like some realness to it, so I love like that in between spot is like my absolute favorite. Okay, so I mostly just finished my face and did my eyebrows off camera because it's so hard to do this in the viewfinder. And then the next question is, what would your dream job be? Thanks for asking that question, Diane. It's so weird because I have no control over it, so it is kind of weird like thinking about like a dream job as far as acting goes, but I do have one. My like ultimate dream would be to be a series regular, which means like you're one of the main characters in a TV show, specifically a TV show that is shot in New York City. Like I would have loved to be on like the new Gossip Girl or the Sex and the City reboot. But I will say I think I would rather be on my like own show, not like a reboot. Not that there's anything wrong with reboots whatsoever. It just would be fun to like make a character that's like fully you from scratch, that isn't like based on another kind of like reality at all, and then be able to like grow with that character. I think that that's something that's so fun about being a series regular on a TV show, is that you're able to like be with this character and be this character for, you know, sometimes years and seasons, and like I don't know, just like be able to like make friendships with people on set. And you know, although when you're on a TV show, it can always get canceled at any time, so it's not technically like consistent work, but yeah, just have some like consistency and regular and like normalcy a little bit of like a routine. So yeah, but I think it'd be really cool also to like shoot on the New York City streets. Like I've done some extra work for Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and that was really fun because you're like 1950s garb, so people are like, what are you doing? Like, what's shooting? Like, oh my God. And it's just like so cool to like shut down the street and like, you know, dance in the middle of the sidewalk, and like, I don't know, there's just something so special about like shooting on the streets of New York City that I would really love to do. So that would be like my like dream job. So fingers crossed. But I'm gonna finish up my makeup. I'm basically just gonna add mascara, maybe a little bit of top eyeliner, like the tiniest little bit, and then like some lipstick, and then we'll be good to go. But then I will get back to you guys when it is time for my hair. So see you guys soon. Okay, so I lied, I did my hair off of camera just because I used my Dyson Airwrap and it's like a blow dryer, so it's really, really loud. But these are the results. I kind of just like fixed up my hair. The name of the game when it comes to audition hair is to match your headshot that you submitted or your agent or manager submitted for the role that got you the audition in the first place. So I'll just put mine right here. That is the headshot that I'm trying to match with my hair. So I had a middle part and like a soft wave, and kind of similar makeup. At least I think I did okay. Let me know down below. But now I am going to pick out my outfit, and this kind of goes along with the same lines of what you're wearing in your headshot. I have a lot of blue tones in there, so that means that they don't hate the color blue for the character. So that means I'm gonna try to wear something blue that also fits who she is. So she is like a evil nanny surrogate. I think I can say all of that. And I need to find something that is something that a evil nanny surrogate would wear. So yeah, let's pick out an outfit. Okay, so let's pick something out to wear. So basically I like to like think about like the character's age and who she is. In this, she's very young. She's supposed to come off very kind of like naive and like nice, so I kind of would just wear something that I'd wear to like babysit. I think that's like kind of the best way to go about it. Like I said earlier, I do kind of want to wear something blue just because my headshots my headshot that they picked off of like the website was super blue, just to help brand them, remind me of their headshots, and obviously the color blue is somewhat connected with the character a little bit, or at least that's what I hope for. So I think I'm gonna wear something blue. I don't want to wear anything too low cut, just because you want the attention to really be on like my eyes and my face. So I think I might wear this dress, which I just got. It's tighter, and I don't think I would actually wear this to an in-person audition just because it has a lower back and it's a little bit shorter, but I think for most of the shots are going to be like here up. I think this will look really good, and it's really high necked. I was thinking in my mind, where is it? I was thinking of maybe doing this, so I'm gonna try on this first option, and if that doesn't work, this I think would be really nice. I love that there's a subtle pattern, because I find if you just use like plain t-shirts and things like that, it tends to look a little fake and a little like actory. The only thing I don't love is like how deep cut this is, just because I think it'll take away from my face and my eyes. That might be a little too flirty for coming in and working with a kid all day. So let me try this on and I'll show you guys after. Okay, so this is the dress. I really do love like the high neck. I do think right now I do look like I'm going clubbing or something. So I'm gonna throw on a denim jacket, because I basically just want this to look like a tank top for the most part. That's kind of what I like. So I like to throw jean jackets on a lot. Again, it just gives like the character more of like a personality and less of like, oh, I'm an actor doing an audition. But yeah, I think this is really great because like the shot will more like, here we go. It'll probably be something like that, probably a little bit, so you'll just see the blue. But I think when you see me right now in this kind of lighting, I mean, obviously the background's a little chaotic. I think you would go right to my eyes, which is kind of the point. So I think this is the final look. I am just going to quickly walk Randall before I start setting up, just because I want him to be calm, and the last thing I want on a good take is for him to be like whining or something. So I'm gonna go take my dog on a walk, and then I will check back in with you guys. So I just got back from walking Randall, so I figured I would show you guys kind of my setup. I tried to film it. I did a time lapse, but then my phone fell, so you can't even see it, so that was a fail. So let me just show you guys what I have going on. So recently I've been setting up my stuff in my bedroom, and sorry, I just turned my ring light on. So yeah, so first I put this is like a reversible, there's a blue on the back, gray on the front. I now prefer the gray just because I've gotten feedback that it looks more like you're in a room, it looks more professional. So that's what I've been doing. If you can tell, I put it like behind my bed, if that makes any sense. And then I stacked some pillows so that it's a little bit taller, but this way it stays really stable, and like the same. So yeah, it's pretty tall. It's kind of annoying though because it's really hard to not get like any of this in the shot. And then I have my ring light. I will turn this off so you guys can see. I love this. This is also why I've been really filming in my bedroom, just because I don't really need natural light. And yeah, so it's just a lot easier. So I have my ring light, and then this is where my camera will sit. And then basically I have this like DIY contraption with like $1 million bucks. And I will be FaceTiming my reader on my phone, and my phone will be sitting right here because you really want your eyes as close to the camera, but obviously not on the camera as possible, and the same like eye line. And so this way I'm like barely looking away from the camera, so the camera really is seeing my whole entire face, not just like my profile. Yeah, so that is the setup. What time is it? So it is 1:30. Basically what I am going to be doing for the next like hour and a half is just gonna be like rehearsing, going over my lines, figuring out my motions. I'm also gonna like prop this camera up onto my ring light just so that I can see what's a good angle, if I need to zoom in more, zoom out more, if my gestures look correct. Like if I, like in this scene, I have to hand someone a cup of coffee, and I don't like using props, but I will be holding a coffee cup, but it'll be off screen. And so I just need to make sure that like those actions are kind of like accurately shown on camera. So it's more of like the technical kind of things. This is kind of the difference between going into like a real audition and going in and doing like a self-tape audition. So I need to get all of that perfect and settled up so when my reader is here, I'm really ready to go, and it's not a matter of rehearsal, it's just a matter of getting in and getting those correct takes. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll check back in with you guys probably right before I start my audition. Okay guys, so this is like the final thing. This is like what they will be seeing. I'll probably put some footage like after I'm done shooting the audition, like muted and stuff, so you guys can kind of like see me in action a little bit. But yeah, this is kind of like what the setup looks like. I actually probably will hit this button on my camera, which like defocuses the background but focuses on my face. So yeah, that's kind of the vibe. And that's like all I have to tell you. I have about 5 minutes before I start my audition, so I'm just gonna like take this time to like zen out, get into character, and I guess I'll check in with you guys after my audition. I just finished my self-tape and I just submitted it. I feel okay about it. Considering it's been a minute since I auditioned, I think it went okay. There's certain reason I don't like self-taping is because like you will never be perfect, and it drives me absolutely nuts, especially when it comes to acting. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and so it just kind of sucks like not fully loving every single part of my work, which sucks. Unlike a normal audition, I feel like they normally will give you critiques and you're able to like go back and fix some of the things, and you get like a better vibe of what they want. Like even if they give you a description, I feel like you could take a character so many different ways. And in an audition room, I feel like they just like help you a little bit in that sense. So that kind of stinks, but at the same time, you know, I don't have to fit in auditions. I can kind of, you know, put them when I'm free and things like that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming along with me. I know it's been a long one, so if you're still here at the end of this, comment your favorite food to confuse everyone, because it's been a long one. But I think I'm gonna end the vlog here. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.